What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, fantastic afternoon, fantastic pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker. This is the HASAN broadcast coming to you live from sunny Los Angeles, California. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. Today is Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm live, I'm alive, and immediately I got a pressing question here on the broadcast from Axel for us. It says, are you openly on HRT? As in, like, I'm definitely on it, but am I honest about like being on HRT? The answer is no, unless you're talking about minoxidil, which I guess technically is hormone replacement to a certain degree. I do take DHT blockers for my hairline, so I guess technically yes. But personal news-wise, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news, about what's going on in the world of Hassan Piker. And let me tell you, last night I ended the broadcast. I wasn't feeling too great, obviously, but I wanted to hang out with my mom, and that's what I did. I watched Lord of the Rings, the trilogy extended edition. That's like, it's basically 12 hours now. We're on the third and final installation of the trilogy, and we watched like about an hour. My mom calls it a job now. She calls it a job. She's never really been into fantasy, and yet she's watching the heck out of this stuff. So I'm very excited about it. It's an absolute masterpiece, and she's staying awake throughout the whole thing, which is crazy. That's what's actually kind of wild about it. The fact that she's not falling asleep. Who's your favorite character? I mean, probably Aragorn, but that's like basic. I think Legolas has the best choreography though, like the best fight choreography. I'm a Gollum guy. Wait, that's weird. But yeah, personal news wise, watched that, went to sleep, woke up early, checked the air quality index. Why did I check the air quality index? Because I wanted to finally train. It's been a couple days since I've been able to really work out, not been able to get Kaya to work out. So I did. I went out and I played basketball this morning. I'm addicted to ball. And I'll tell you where I went. I went to one of the evacuation centers, and I actually balled with some of the evacuees. As a matter of fact, it's not even a joke. I spent the morning balling with a bunch of people that had evacuated. Many of the evacuees were actually coming from the Veterans Affairs office in Brentwood. A lot of homeless veterans there. They had to be evacuated out last night, but we balled up and they were dope. Bro, genuinely, what the fuck are you doing, Lamau? Everybody needs to calm down. I checked the air quality index, okay? I didn't go and ball on my own for no reason, and we won, and we won some games. We lost some other games. A lot of the evacuation center people, at least in the one that I went to, was a lot of them were the homeless vets from the VA place in Brentwood. If you guys know, there's like a famous corner going into Brentwood where there used to be like a massive tent city basically on the side of this road. And then they took all the veterans from that tent city and they basically put them inside of the VA and built like little tiny homes for them. But unfortunately, they're very flammable, those tiny homes. You want a game of basketball against a disabled senior unhoused vet and you call yourself a socialist? Ridiculous. First of all, they're not seniors. It's funny to think that like every homeless veteran's a senior. No, dog. There's like homeless veterans that are younger than me. You know that? It's crazy. America is equal opportunity at screwing over people. It transcends beyond age. But yeah, no, I did ball. I was dropping bombs, okay? Hassan ruthlessly destroys homeless vets. I wasn't gonna hold back. I'm not gonna hold back just because someone's the homeless veteran who is an evacuee. That would be disrespectful. I went crazy mode. That'd be disrespectful if I did that. You know, I'm not gonna pull back. That's crazy. Are you crazy? But yeah, it was a lot of fun. They were so nice too. They would just keep going in to the shelter to bring out like there was one dude who kept going into the shelter to bring out like water, and I was like, bro, it's good. Like, I'm good. I brought my own. It was a very kind dude. I set up something crazy this morning. Shouts out to Caroline for this because last night Caroline apparently DM'd me and was like, hey, do you want to link up with this guy? Like, I'm gonna try to reach out to this one guy. He's a Hollywood producer. Okay, his name is Scott. She sent me the information of this Hollywood producer guy who works with incarcerated firefighters. And she was like, hey, I think we should reach out to this guy. And I was like, wait a minute. This dude's name is super familiar to me. And it turns out it's because I actually had a lined up meeting with him on Friday morning, but he had to evacuate, so he couldn't do the meeting. He wanted to link up with me already this past Friday. So I look on his Instagram. I'm like, oh, he already follows me. I hit him up. I'm like, yo, can we do this? Can we do a live stream or whatever? He's like, dude, that's an incredible idea. I really wanted to do that. Yeah. What a wonderful way to link up with this guy. We didn't get to initially have that meeting, but it don't matter. So today, later, we are going to be going to the Rose Bowl and feeding some of the incarcerated firefighters, and hopefully they're going to let us interview them as well. What is an incarcerated firefighter? In the state of California, there is a firefighter training program where incarcerated individuals can go and fight these wildfires. It's oftentimes for $26 a day. It's, really ruthless conditions. It's a complex program, and I want to get to talk to these guys and show you, most importantly, that these are, human beings. And yes, at any point, you can have approximately 30% of the firefighters that are fighting wildfires be incarcerated firefighters. So we'll learn a little bit more about that as well. Yeah, $26 a day is pretty crazy. Our work in human services, serving the criminal justice impacted community in New York City. Thank you for looking out for this population. These stories need to be told. Yeah, I mean, I'm, as always, I'm working to try to humanize some of these people that never get looked at by mainstream news, and show my community, my audience, and everybody else what it's like how people find themselves and the situations that they find themselves in. I love the series you were doing of uplifting people and telling stories of people that are so often overlooked. Yeah, that's my goal. Funniest moment from Sean yesterday, Unk and dad jokes are back.
We won that, and we accreted them to the national agreement, and it was good that happened because we exposed them. They're actually suffering from a disease called diabetes, right? And they should be actually telling the truth that they don't want the Teamsters Union, that they don't want to allow us to organize. So I went to the first opening negotiations in November, and I'll tell you, I'm a person, a leader that believes in leading from the front. I believe in discipline and having respect. Whether I like you or I don't like you, you're my opponent. I'm going to respect you until it's time not to respect you. So we sit down at these negotiations. They show up 45 minutes late. We have a whole negotiating committee, rank and file there. And I ask them right across the table before we even start, let me ask you fools something. If one of our members showed up late for work, what do you
do? Diabetes. Speaking of diabetes, apparently James Woods also has a little bit of diabetes, where his house survived the wildfires. He probably thought it was actually on fire, though, because his neighbor's house was on fire. Updates. California wildfires are spreading and evacuations have been issued.
Coming forward and not knowing where they're
moving on both sides of that same hilltop, where on the one hand, it's going into Brentwood. On the other hand, it's going into Encino. It's pretty terrifying stuff. I know a lot of people that live on both sides of those.
Perish. So let's hope that is an indication that maybe a lot of people did heed the warnings and get out. But the fact that the numbers are so far, at least, as low as they are is quite remarkable when you think about the scale and scope of these fires, and we say fires plural, that we've been dealing with in Southern California.
Yeah, here it's moving towards Brentwood as well. My old stomping grounds.
This is into putting out the fire. We saw a lot of smoke there, and then in an instant, they're able to put out a big chunk of the flames that could be racing towards home.
This graphic, oh my God, ain't no way. That's a penis.
This is
Santa Ana winds pick up Saturday night into Sunday morning in Southern California, but possibly a strong wind event is coming early next week as the wildfires continue. It is crazy that geographically, I don't know. I mean, I guess the way that Los Angeles is located in between all these mountains, those sorts of winds don't end up impacting the greater metropolitan area is wild. It's just straight up punishing the valley, punishing all the way out to the water side on Malibu and Pacific Palisades. Oh my God, Hemet, mama, we made it. Bro, this is the worst way to be recognized, You are the media now. I heard from my brother, a firefighter in Central Oregon, that 60 fire trucks in the state sent support to LA fires are being held up in Sacramento for emissions testing. They likely won't pass inspection and won't be able to help. What a joke. The Oregon strike teams arrived Thursday and are assigned to the Pacific Palisades Fire. 11 of the teams began their assignments this AM. The teams are motivated, committed, and excited. Yeah, this guy is just stupid and wrong. Oh, the joke is that you are the media now, as in people just lie, and then those lies go super viral. It's so nutty, dude. It's so nutty. Look at this. Look, these guys are actually working on the ground already. This guy hours later is already, this guy hours after, they've already posted about it. Oh my God. Oh my God, Linda Yaccarino. Oregon sends 60 fire trucks to California. California won't let them into the state because California is unsure of emissions on the trucks. California is a joke. Get out while you can. We sent 75 fire engines. Your statement about our teams not being allowed into California is false. Our teams arrived yesterday and are working around the clock to help our neighbors. Dude, I'm telling you right now, these people they have to be doing this deliberately. They have to be doing this deliberately. They just straight up want you to not trust any real resources. I don't think this is incompetence. I think this has to be malicious, dude. We talk about TikTok and how like the Chinese influence on TikTok is so pervasive and how this is terrifying for American national security. We have national security concerns. But look at this. We're doing it to ourselves. We're doing it to ourselves with some of the wealthiest, most powerful individuals on the planet. Like, this is so insane, dude. How can people not recognize that this right here is terrifying? Virtually all the information that you get on Twitter about anything at this point, at least like the first 5 top performing posts are just going to be straight up lies that right-wingers have just concocted. And now Facebook is like, yeah, we're going to fire our moderation team. Like as though they have anything but just AI slop on there anyway, genuinely breaking the brains of all of your elderly family members, all your elderly relatives. Yeah, finally a community note arrives on the original post hours later, after it already had a couple million views and thousands of retweets. At 48,000 likes, it gets hit with a community note. And now a deletion and retraction, which I'll give him credit for doing more than many, but rings hollow after posting his brother, an Oregon fireman, just told him the trucks were being held up and claimed this was email from the chief confirming they're stuck in emissions inspection. Good morning all. To chief. It's my understanding that the 60 apparatus that were sent to California are sitting in Sacramento waiting to be inspected. It is sad that there's not a better process to be able to render aid to those in need. I hope that Oregon is better prepared if the situation is ever reversed. Hank Green says, I cannot overemphasize how much of you are seeing a distorted version of reality in which the world is ruled by incompetence and evil if you see everything through the lens of Elon tweets rather than actually engaging with your community. This is so devastating. It is genuinely shocking. I'm still kind of surprised Republicans still bother with ASL interpreters at the rallies and stuff. Seems like the kind of effeminate woke nonsense they'd have to rid themselves of. I'm sorry, but we have to stop with the ridiculous sign language interpreters who turn serious press conferences into a farce. There are closed captions on all broadcast channels and streaming services. No wild human gesticulators necessary. Oh my God. Oh my God. Christopher Rufo saw this and was like, yeah, it's time to eliminate disability access. They just have no policies. It's just purely making things worse. What a wild turn of events, man. Yeah, I saw this as well. Rogan's podcast used to be about comedy, martial arts, and conspiracies, and now it's just basically laundering the reputations of supervillains. Yeah, I 100% agree with this take. This man went from conspiracy theories that like sometimes are anti-government to basically having exclusively billionaire supervillain defense contractors, dude. And it's crazy because these are the people who think this is independent media. Like his audience is comprised of so many normies, your coworkers, who are like, I don't trust mainstream news, brother. And there's like valid reasons not to trust certain narratives in mainstream news, okay? But it's crazy to me that those guys then go and listen to a conversation with a supervillain billionaire who is laundering his reputation in broad daylight by talking to Joe Rogan, someone that you like, and half the time they're also talking about like, you know, defense contractor shit. It blows my mind. When CNN does interviews like this, you go, oh, what the hell? These guys love the elites. But when Joe Rogan does it, it's like, oh no, he loves the elites in a cool way. I love this elite as well. It's so annoying. Everything is so broken, beyond a state of repair, you know? It's just, I don't know.